President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to know that these consumers are the electorates. The consumers are the electorates who will cast the votes. And where you treat consumers with disdain and encourage impunity and criminal extortion against consumers, it calls to question the ability of the government to protect the citizens. And this thing has tendency for causing breach of the peace. You are talking of Boko Haram. We are talking of Boko Haram, insecurity. This is electricity insecurity. It's electricity insecurity in Nigeria. You cannot be talking of Boko Haram and you leave this one because this is blue collar crime. It is blue collar crime that is committed by highly placed people, and it is their network that is making this thing persist. They are not ready because you go to some states. I gave a motion to a House of Assembly member to say, can you raise this thing on the floor? He said the day he wanted to raise it, 2 or 3 members told him not to try it. That the owner, chairman of the disco, will start quarreling with their governor. That they don't want problem. In Edo, has it not happened? A member of the House of Reps said, my friend, make una turn that thing down. You know the owner of that company is from our area, so that we don't spoil his. So you want to protect his interest against the interest of millions of Nigerians. If you look at the poverty rates, the SMEs are not working. Youths that should be productive with electricity are kept idle. And we blame them. You heard somebody that say he's doing Yahoo. But a company, private company that is sleazing and extorting people criminally are encouraged to sit before government. If the discos can sit before government under this crime, they should open the prison yards and let the criminals or armed robbers in the prisons be let loose. Let them be free, because discos are worse than armed robbers. They should not be free. And we shouldn't tolerate discos sitting before the legislature or sitting before the executive arm of government to be talking when consumers' interests have not been addressed. Senator Abaribe has always proved himself at the Senate like pro-poor kind of senator. But I'm shocked that Senator Abaribe has not seen the need to look at consumer abuses, extortion against consumers, electricity crime against consumers. He's pushing for amendment. How has he evaluated the impact of the policy so far since 2023 on the consumers? What is he saying about consumers? Why will Section 217 on a false declaration say if a distribution company declare falsely, his punishment will only be 100,000 or 1 month imprisonment? But in 221, if a consumer confronts a disco staff, his one is 5 million naira fine or 6 years imprisonment. Where is fairness? Where is justice? And then why we see that Abaribe, whose state, Baton Nigeria, has just started there, the nature of supply in Abia State should make Senator Abaribe know that the consumer interest should be addressed. Consumer perspective in this sector should be addressed before he talk of any amendment. And he should rather think of strengthening state electricity market, strengthening the regulators at the states, rather than frustrating them with this phantom amendment they want to use to distract people. Investors that are already showing interest in states are now withdrawing because they said they will not, they will wait until they see the outcome of the amendment. And that is frustrating the states. And the states have spent money, set up these structures, appointed people to work. Now this federal minister now want to bring the NEC. How much has NEC done since 2013? And that has made the sector function well. That's my take. Thank you, sir. And force them to pay money. And they pay. And they pay. Then the regulator in the state is telling you what is happening. And you are telling them to license. I mean, is that the kind of relationship? So we are raising this voice. Let the regulators do their work.
So let me add that question the media guy asked, what do we really want? Because this press conference actually about there's a committee set up by the Honorable Minister of Power that they have deliberately excluded the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission and also excluded the consumer advocacy groups. Because if you set up a committee to either amend the Electricity Act, the people who are mostly on the demand side, who are the consumer, their voices need to be heard so that regulation that will be churned out from them will be favorable even to the consumers. because according to you heard when our national president was talking that there should be there should be fairness and there should be balance. So this is what we are saying, that those agencies of government who are even responsible for protecting the interests of consumers should be part of the committee, and that consumer advocacy group should also be part of the committee.